Evaluate the following expressions given the functions below. Write an ordered pair representing each of your solutions. So as we take a look at this particular problem, it says g of x equals negative 3x plus 1. So once again, just a reminder, notice how here's the g, here's the x. So this 10 is going to replace the x, and it's negative 3 times x plus 1. So this is going to be negative 3 times 10. We write the 10 instead of the x, plus 1. Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30 plus 1, which equals negative 29. So our ordered pair is 10, negative 29. Lots of practice on these. Same idea here on this next one. F of 3. This 3 is going to, if I can get there, go back in for the x. It's going to replace the x. So this is going to be 3 squared plus 7. And remember, squared means times itself. So when we look at this, 3 squared, it means 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 7, which is 16. So our ordered pair is going to be the 3 that we put into and the 16 that we get out of the function. Remember, if I'm going too fast, either pause the video or go back and watch it again. Same idea here. This negative 2 is going to go back in for that x. So this is going to be 12. Instead of writing the x, we're going to write negative 2. 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. So our ordered pair is negative 2, negative 6. We put the negative 2 in, and we get the negative 6 out. Same idea on the next problem. G of negative 5. The negative 5 we're putting into our function, and then we're going to figure out what we get out of it. So it's negative 3 times negative 5 plus 1. So watch out here. What I haven't talked about is the fact that this says g of, so we have to go back into the g function, but we did that. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15 plus 1, which equals 16. We put negative 5 into the function and we get 16 out of. F of 0. When we take a look at this one, we're going to put 0 back in to the function. We're working with f this time, and I kind of have it set up on the smartboard, but you might have to go back on your paper and look and say to yourself, oh, which equation do I use? Do I use the f? Do I use the g? Do I use the h? This time we're doing f of 0, so this is going to be 0 squared plus 7. The nice thing is that 0 squared, it means 0 times 0. Squared means times itself, and 0 times 0 is still 0, plus 7. And 0 plus 7 is 7. We put 0 into the function. We get 7 out of the function when we put the 0 in. H of 24. Again, find the equation. I have it kind of set up already for us, but when we do this, we're going to put 24 back into the function wherever we see x. So this is 12 divided by 24. And I do not have access to a calculator in Desmos when I'm doing these videos on the iPad. But if you type in 12 divided by 24 into Desmos, it will give you the value of 1/2. and we put 24 into the function, and when we put 24 in, we get 1/2 out. Now, again, watch out on this one because it says find g of x. And remember, here's g of x. So we need to put our value in the proper spot when we're evaluating this function. We need to use the correct equation, which we are doing by using the g function. But this time we're going to put in negative 29 here equals negative 3x plus 1. And now we're going to solve this. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides. We get negative 30 equals negative 3x. And then we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. The negative 3's cancel out, and we get x equals 10. So there's what x equals. But remember, the ordered pair, x goes first, 10, and then we have our negative 29. Same idea on the next one, only this time we're using, it says find x when f of x equals 107. So we need to watch out. Here's f of x. Here's f of x. So we need to replace in the correct part of the equation, and that's what we're doing. So when we look at this here, 107 equals x squared plus 7. And now we can solve this equation. We're going to subtract 7 from both sides, and we get 100 equals x squared. And then what we want to figure out. So remember, x squared, squared means times itself. So what number times itself equals 100? Well, 10 times 10 equals 100. So our x equals 10. And then when we write our ordered pair, we get 10. The x goes first, and the 107 goes second. Lastly, on this part of the notes, one more time, make sure to use the correct function. We're given g of x equals 12. So g of x, we need to use the right equation, and we need to replace in the correct part of the equation. And when we do, we're going to put 12, maybe, here we go, 12 into our equation. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And we end up with 11 equals negative 3x. Divide both sides by negative 3. So I'm going to try to make my blanks a little bit bigger over here. And actually, when we leave this here, I just leave it as 11 over negative 3 because it is a repeating decimal. And Desmos will leave it just like that, so we should be okay. So our x is negative 11 over 3, and our ordered pair is negative 11 over 3, comma 12. Just going to check my math real quick here just to make sure that I didn't make a mistake. But I did not.